All right, here we go, the Hex Bar Deadlift. Take your time to get organized and braced before the first pull. And here I want you to push through the floor, push through your quads around, braced feet, gripping the floor with your feet, creating torque through the ankle, knee, and hip, keeping the neck packed. And here from the back angle, look at how engaged my upper back is. I'm not letting the bar beat me. It's not pulling my shoulders apart.
Okay, so this is the Hex Bar Deadlift, and I love the Hex Bar Deadlift because it's a great move to master before moving on to the barbell deadlift. It's just a pinch easier to train this hinging style versus the barbell deadlift, and I love that step right before we get into the barbell deadlift. One thing I wanted to show you here is I love the loading system of this Hex Bar. This bar has some pegs at the bottom here, so this is floating. So it's very easy to slide plates on and off, which again is great for someone who's just learning how to deadlift and is struggling to get plates on and off a barbell. This is great to get on and off the Hex Bar. So I want you to sit up with your feet on part of the Hex Bar, good deadlift posture, pull it over, and then center it on your lifting station. Okay, so with this setup, a Hex Bar is something with 6 sides. So if you look at the Hex Bar, we have 6 sides here on this Hex Bar. And one thing I always love to do is make sure that my clients look cool when they're training. So when you're getting into the Hex Bar, instead of just stepping over, set up with the Hex Bar on this side. That way it's down, that way you can step in. You'll look kind of like, hey, that guy knows what he's doing. That gal knows what she's doing. All right, so this side, we keep it down. There's this weight on this side. That keeps it down on this side. So we could have it that way, and that's fine, but it's easy to just throw this side down. Okay. If you're wondering how much this bar weighs 60 pounds. How do I know that? It says right here. All right, so it may say somewhere on the bar, usually it says on the tips what a barbell weighs, but this one it says right here. So if you're wondering what yours weighs at your gym, just check around the bar, it might say what it weighs. If you don't know what it weighs, what you can do is we have a scale out here in the gym, so what people can do and what I've seen people do is you grab the bar, you hold it, you step onto the scale. You weigh, let's say, okay, right now I weigh about 173 pounds. So if I add 60 pounds, we're gonna see 233 pounds. 173 plus 60 is 233 pounds. So I'm gonna step on that scale and go, okay, 233, put it down, weigh myself, okay, 173, 233 minus 173, bar weighs 60 pounds. That's another easy way to figure out how much something weighs if it's not marked. Okay, so for stance width, for usual deadlifts, like a conventional deadlift, we're gonna have the heels underneath the hip joints. So we don't want a wide stance when we're deadlifting. I want you to have a narrow stance. If you're gonna go with a wide stance, we'll be talking about sumo right away. So conventional deadlift, especially with the Hex Bar. Hex Bar, you're not gonna be training a sumo deadlift with the Hex Bar. So with this Hex Bar, feet are underneath each hip joint. We want to learn how to press from that position. We want the toes dead straight forward. Unlike the squat where I allow a slight toe flare, when we start turning out the toes with the deadlift here, it gets real dangerous. Okay, the knees start falling in, you can't create any torque. We got to have the toes straight forward and then torque. Now with your toes turned out and then torque, your legs go way out and they interfere with your arms when you're deadlifting. So it's better to have toes straight forward, hip width, and then create torque just so that they're brushing the inside of your arm. So that's another thing here. Before I switch to the other angle, when you create torque and you've got the gripped bar, you're probably going to feel your thighs up against your inner arm. That's a good thing. If there's gap there, that means you're not creating enough torque. So create torque and then push up and you'll feel that scraping against your inner forearm there. Okay. So from the side here, once you get into your setup here, set your feet first, grip the floor, torque through the ankle, knee, and hip. And now it's time to build the back, build the head position. So we want to get the bum low and the shoulder blades back, so we're retracting them. I don't want to go back and down, I want to go back. Okay, so neck is packed. That helps set my back properly without arching. So I'm packing my neck to set my back up. I've got torque, abs are firm, glutes are firm, and I'm going to go ahead and push through the floor. Why did I say I didn't want the shoulders back and down? Well, I don't want you to train this droopy posture. I want the shoulders in a good neutral position. So here, rather than lifting like this, we want to be here through the upper back. Pack the neck, get those traps on, get the upper back retracted, neck packed, glutes and abs, push through the floor. One thing I want you guys to get rid of with the barbell is slack. You hear that? That's slack. So if you're deadlifting and you're hearing every time you pull, you've got slack in the bar. So when you're deadlifting, get rid of that slack. So right now it's pulled up, there's no slack. So don't have any slack in the bar at the bottom of the move. Okay, I feel like that covers the important topics around setup. One more thing around the action of the move. With the deadlift, yes, we're pulling a barbell off the ground. Yes, we're pulling a hex bar off the ground. But I don't want you to think, just gonna push this out of the way. I don't want you to think pull, okay? Pulling, we end up pulling with our lower back muscles and we don't wanna do that. What I want you to think is push. So you've got everything set up properly. You've got the bar in hand, and I want you to push through the floor around a properly braced spine. So there should be no pulling, all right? It's pushing up into a good plank posture. So think back about the plank at the elbows right here. I'm in this posture here. That's my goal position at the top. Same with planking at the wrist. There's no back arch, there's no shrug, there's no down, everything's neutral. That's our top position. So when you're doing the deadlift, get rid of that pull move, tuck the chin, pack the neck, focus on target out in front of you, abs firm, push through the floor as if you were gonna jump. When I jump, I don't pull. When I jump, I push. I push through the floor. So deadlifting is almost like jumping. It's similar muscle groups, so you wanna think push through the floor as if you were gonna jump. If you're having a hard time making that connection, do a few jumps. When you jump, you'll notice you go straight up. You don't pull and then jump. No, you go straight up into that plank posture. So I've done that before where, I'm struggling to get rid of my pull and focused on just a push around a braced spine. I'll do a few jumps just to lock in those good mechanics. So there we go. Build the good mechanics, set the back, pack the neck. I guess when you set the back, retract the shoulder blades. Okay, retract the shoulder blades. Don't retract and go down. Don't retract and go up. Just retract. What does that look like here? Retract. That's where we want to be. Abs firm. There we go. Make sure the elbows don't bend, and we're good to go. That's how we do a great hex bar deadlift. Good luck. Have fun.